round one, we've got the choice. We'll play first. And yeah, this hand's actually pretty good. We've got the instant for the Enforcers. We have a nice 2-drop play in, I think, Highland game. I don't want to play the guide until I know I don't need another land. Because if we miss on lands, I'm definitely going to want another mountain. Because we do have a fair amount of double red. But at the same time, I don't necessarily want to play the guide on turn 2. Well, now I don't have to. I can just play it as a bear. But I think we do Highland games still. I mean, is there any reason I want to use guide? Maybe for a second blue. Yeah, let's play the Highland game. Just in case I were to, say, draw a double blue spell, I think having the guide would be beneficial. But now I'm just going to play the guide as a bear, I think, and go on the offensive. I mean, I can give myself perfect manas, but it costs me a draw step and potential damage to my opponent. So I think I'd rather just sort of stay on the offensive here. Playing against better looking mana base, but let's see. 4-color already. Mantis Rider, that's a good one. Well, we're going to swing into it. So even if he blocks our Highland game, I guess I don't have to swing into it because of Ruthless Instincts, but I'm still going to swing into it. Well, there's our 1,000 wins. So yes, he can eat our Highland game, but I think 2-for-1ing myself at this point is fine. No blocks. All right. I'm okay with that too. So we'll play the Bloodfire Enforcers and then pass. So if he doesn't play anything, he likely has a combat trick. Just going to make this slightly more tricky. Yeah, no plays. I think we just swing with Bloodfire Enforcers. Because I want to play Tusker post-combat. So we'll just swing Enforcers, see what he's got. Okay, so now we'll play Tusker and then pass. Because I would have gotten 2-for-1 if I cast Ruthless Instincts. So it does in fact make sense to just swing with the Enforcer. Because otherwise I think he would have eaten some damage, but he would have just blocked our 2-power guy. Alright, see if he's got like Crippling Chill or something. Does have the Crippling Chill, it would appear. Or, yeah. That's okay though. So we get to swing in again. Which helps for the race quite a bit. And we get to go Highland game plus 1,000 wins, which is a pretty good turn actually. I do need a second blue before I can use 1,000 wins, but that's alright. I mean, at this point we're just swinging for the fences. Opponent's got a good grip though. Oof. Well, I guess at the very least we gain some life, but that's still pretty harsh. Well, I can't play around tricks any longer, so I'm just going to bash into the Mantis Rider. I mean, I could use Ruthless Instincts defensively, but I think using it offensively is ultimately better. I mean, he did 2-for-1 us. At least we gained some life. But yeah, I would have preferred to stay on the offensive. Okay, well, at least he's tapped out, so he doesn't really have a good play against us. Certainly swinging into it. He's ready to block, so all right. And we have the Tusker on tap next turn. Plus we have Canyon Lurkers, so we're doing all right. Can't unmorph our morph, but Ruthless Instincts is pretty helpful. He's got to deal with the Tusker, which is good. We can't unmorph our morph. Abzan Falconer. And Heel Cutter. All right. It's actually okay. So, yeah, this is actually fine. So, we swing with everything. The Tusker makes the Falconer block it, and then he can trade with either one. Probably lose our 1,000 wins, but our opponent's got one card left in hand, so I think that's actually okay. He still has to deal with Tusker and a Lurkers the next turn. So I think this is ultimately going to work out well for us. Otherwise, I mean, I could keep my 1,000 wins back. I do have 4 lands that potentially flip it. It seems like it's too easy of a, I mean, we kind of have his back against the wall a bit. I think I'm going to save my morph, actually. It saves him 2 points of damage, but if I draw the blue mana, I guess it's still another couple turns, but there's a lot of potential upside to 1,000 wins, I think. So we'll swing. Falconer's got to block my Tusker. I don't know what he can do with 1 mana. I think I'm going to hard cast the Lurkers, too. Could just take the damage here, which is also okay. Double blocking, so let me kill them both. Seems pretty good for me. Follow up with Lurkers. I guess I could do face down. I mean, this could present some problems depending on what I draw, but I kind of like the illusion of not knowing what this Lurkers is. Like, I've got lethal if he only has 1 creature drop here. He has to have 2 creatures, basically, or a creature and a removal. Both of those work. Sage of the Inward Eye. All right, that's actually okay, too. So we're going to have 1 card left in hand. Could be a removal, but I'm not going to play around it. Yeah, now we just swing, I think. I could unmorph. I kind of want to show Arc Lightning, but he could also gain the life. If he gained 3, well, let's just unmorph, I guess. All right, so we got it. Didn't have to show him the Arc Lightning either. He could have had a spell there, and it would have presented some problems for sure. But, so we're playing against 4-color base Jeskai. What's the splash is for Falcon? No, that's not right. What's the splash for? What's the green? We don't know what the green splash is for yet. So we're still trying to figure that out. But do we have a sideboard really against our opponent? I could do shifting loyalties to like steal his mantis, but I still have to give him something. Like I could give him like an ambush or a guide or a guide's actually a pretty good one with shifting loyalties if you do the 1/1. But I'm not sure about that. I kind of don't like the wins as much in this match. It seems like it's going to be less because he's got bounce and tap down and stuff. I think that's going to make the wins slightly less impressive. But what do I play over it? Oh, Windstorm probably because he's got Falconer and Manus Rider. I think we got to do the Windstorm, and then I'll probably cut the winds. So a wind card for a wind card. I like it. It even aesthetically pleases me, so I like it. Anything else? We're on the draw now. Still think we're set up pretty well here. So, all right, let's try this again. This hand's fine. A little bit slow, but I think we're okay. Opponent keeps at 6 on the play. We want to open up with the Swiftwater Cliffs so we have access to all of our colors on turn 2 for 2-drops and such. If we don't find a 2-drop, we're just going to slam turn 2 Thornwood Falls into Witness into Summit Prowler. If we find a 2-drop, we'll play that. Alright, so we'll play the Thornwood Falls. Next turn, we have a decent turn progression still. And we could get to a point where Shamanic Revelation is going to be quite good for us. Alright, Warname Aspirant for no value is fine. No land drop would also be quite good for us, yeah. Okay, interesting. I think we play Witness here. Not sure I want to block, but I could. The pro of blocking, all right, the pro of blocking is my Bloodfire Enforcers might have free reign, depending on what his. The cons is Shamanic Revelation, less value, both on the card draw and the Ferocious front, which makes me not want to block this. I think I'm going to take it. He could just go land 2/3 because we know he's got the Falconer, and that would present some issues, but I can still swing in Ruthless Instincts. So I think ultimately this is okay. I like building towards a Revelation that gains us 12 life and draws us 3 cards. I feel like that is adequately debilitating. Okay. Interesting. Let's get in for 2. Play Prowler over Enforcers. Yeah, that makes more sense. Since that kind of prevents him from attacking too. So now we swing both. I think we're going to unmorph here. 8 points of damage is a mighty swing. And now our Shamanic Revelation gains us 8 life and draws us 2 cards. That alone is good. Once we get this Enforcers plus Highland game, I think he's in some pretty big trouble. He's off white still. We have Ruthless Instincts too, which is just going to be insane. Yeah, I think we're actually going to cast the Instincts on our Summit Prowler when he blocks with the Expert. Just go right over top. So how much mana? We have 6 mana to work with, which means I can only do Instincts plus Highland game, but whatever. It's just a huge gain for us here. I mean, the trample over top of the Bloodfire Expert's just too much for him to deal with. That might even get a concession out of him. I mean, he's taken 11. Here he goes to 1. Or he goes to 3? What did I miss? 5 plus... Oh, he only took 9. Okay. Sick thing is, we could have Enforcers online with Shamanic Revelation, Ruthless Instincts. But I think this game is pretty much over. I don't know what my opponent could do to get out of this spot now. He had some pretty tremendous mana issues. Yeah, Barrage is not good enough. Oops, okay. So we got the match. Very good. Move on to round 2. Deck played pretty well for us. Opponent had some mana issues in game 2. But hey, 8-4s, man. Dangerous game. Shamanic Revelation would have looked really good this game, though, even with just these two. Like I said, gaining 8, drawing 2, I think is a pretty substantial, you know, game flip for sure. Could have played a couple creatures before I bust it too. Drawn even more. So I think, yeah, I think there's a lot of upside to this card. All right, we'll see you in round 2.